You try to relax. You even tell yourself that nothing is urgent. But your mind will not let go. Your body is sitting there. Inside you still feel alert, like you are waiting for something you cannot name. You might feel guilty for resting, like you missed something important. That is what makes it frustrating. You are not choosing stress. It just appears. During the day you have momentum. You have tasks, people, noise. Your attention stays pointed outward. Then you finally get a break. Everything slows down. And that is when your thoughts get busy. A memory from years ago shows up, and it feels recent. Tomorrow starts playing in your head like a trailer. You run scenes that have not happened. Even small worries start feeling bigger than they should. It can be confusing because you were fine earlier. Then you are alone for a moment and your mind starts running. You might pick up your phone to distract yourself. You might start cleaning something that does not need cleaning. You might open a tab and scroll without reading. Not because you are lazy, because stillness can feel too open. Relaxation is not only about free time. It is also about feeling safe enough to stop scanning. If you grew up where things could go wrong at any moment, your brain learned to stay ready. If mistakes had consequences, your brain learned to double-check everything. If you had to read people closely, your brain learned to watch for signals. So when you try to rest, your brain can interpret that as dropping your guard. And it reacts the way it learned to react. Not because you are weak, because being prepared used to matter. This is why overthinking can feel responsible. It can feel like you are being mature, like you are preventing problems before they happen. You replay decisions. You draft conversations. You rehearse outcomes. You tell yourself you are just planning. But planning has an endpoint. You plan. You decide. You move on. This kind of thinking does not do that. It circles. It checks. It checks again. It keeps going because it is trying to remove uncertainty. And uncertainty is not something you can delete. It is part of being alive. So your mind keeps working. It keeps searching for certainty in a place that cannot offer it. A version where you can finally relax because nothing can surprise you. Under the loop, there is usually one fear. What if something goes wrong and I am not ready? That fear attaches itself to anything. Work, relationships, money, health, the future, your identity. So your brain keeps checking even when nothing is happening. It looks for signs. It looks for proof. It looks for control. It tries to predict what people will do. It tries to predict what life will do. And the reason it keeps going is simple. There is no final answer. People are complicated. Timing changes. Moods change. Life does not stay fully predictable. Thinking can help you prepare for real decisions. But it cannot guarantee safety. You cannot anticipate every outcome. You cannot guarantee approval. You cannot guarantee that life will stay stable. So the loop keeps running because it is trying to earn a feeling that thinking cannot provide. That is why it leaves you tired instead of relieved. It uses your energy and then asks for more. After a while, you feel exhausted before you even begin the next day. There is also a difference between being aware and being on guard. Being aware means you notice what is real and respond. Being on guard means you keep searching for what might go wrong. Even when nothing is actually happening, your mind will not let you relax. It is on guard. It is trying to prevent future pain by staying ready. That is why rest can feel uncomfortable. Because your brain thinks rest means you stop protecting yourself. And there is another reason this hits so hard. If you are used to tension, calm can feel unfamiliar. Your brain can interpret unfamiliar as unsafe. So the moment your life gets simple for a second, your mind looks for what it missed. It is like it does not trust peace. It does not trust that things will stay calm. That is why some people feel worse on weekends, or right after finishing a big task, or right when they finally have time to breathe. Their mind says, "Now that you stopped, it is my turn." And it brings up everything it postponed. You do not have to treat that as a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that your brain is still using an old setting that kept you going before. Sometimes you are not actually worried about tonight. You are worried about what might happen tomorrow. Sometimes you are not actually thinking about a problem. You are trying to avoid the feeling of not knowing. So what helps is not forcing yourself to stop thinking. That usually turns into another fight. What helps is recognizing the pattern. Your mind is trying to prevent surprise. You can respect that without following every thought. You can let a thought pass without treating it like an emergency. You can remind yourself that uncertainty is not automatically danger. If a thought shows up, you do not have to chase it down. You do not have to prove it wrong. You do not have to answer it right away. You can notice it and let it be there while you stay in the room you are in. Sometimes the win is noticing the pattern and not feeding it. Not solving it, not arguing with it, just noticing it. Rest is not laziness, and it is not irresponsibility. If your mind learned to stay tense to feel safe, it makes sense that relaxing feels hard, but you are allowed to learn something new. You are allowed to have moments where nothing is being fixed. Nothing is being proven. Nothing is being earned. You are allowed to be a person, not a problem to fix. Sometimes you can just be here, and that can be enough for now.